Hey folks, welcome back to another Pawn Master video, and today I'm gonna go over something I forgot to go over earlier, but in regards to rumors surrounding some may or may not existing, may or may not be, real things that may or may not happen in the second half of the 2.5 anniversary, namely on Pokemon Day or Pokemon Masters Day, when we get, usually new sync grids for some units, right? New EXs, etc. Right? So yeah, let's check out some of these on this on the Pokemon Masters Tools website, which I don't know where they got them from. They just that came out of nowhere. Not confirmed, obviously. That I had nothing to do with. That came out of thin air. Honestly, I don't know how the internet works. I don't know how websites work, but they just happen to show up here, and let's look at them. Or maybe not look at them. We'll see. Anyways, first of all, potential candidate, Wikstrom over here. Wikstrom, obviously, Steel type, 4-star tech unit. So some, well, these aren't potential. We know what Wikstrom's stats are, right? So he's a tech unit that is weird in the sense because he has two forms, obviously, different stats. In shield form, obviously much more defenses. Sword form got more attack, right? We basically know his kit, right? King Shield, Gyro Ball, On Guard, and Iron Head, and then your sync move is the more the opponent's attack is lower, the greater the power of the move, right? Which is honestly a bit weird, but what can you do, right? And then yeah, you have a stance change where you switch around when you use King Shield or attack or whatever, and you also have vigilance there as well. So anyways, so that's what we already know, right? The potentially new that may or may not be true or may not be real, that came out of thin air, is the sync grid. So let's not take a look at it. So alright, what we have, or may not have, over here is some really weird nodes, honestly. It's a weird grid looking at it. So you have Inspire Ire, which is actually pretty nice, I'd say. Inspire Ire on King's Shield is pretty decent, if it were to ever happen. Because of the fact that, you're never really going to be using Aegislash as, a legitimate tank, right? If you're tank with him, either you're just super down bad, or you're memeing, right? But this is actually really nice because if you King Shield Inspire Ire, that means you could actually run a actual tank, right? And then when you need that clutch, King Shield, right? For example, if you're fighting a legendary gauntlet, on this turn, right? Once you get the opponent down to half HP or whatever, on that turn they're gonna throw a hybrid beam at you. They're gonna throw in a big close combat at you. Then right before that turn, you set up King Shield, and then it changed the targeting to you, right? To well, they're all you, but Aegislash, right? And then boom, you completely nullify that one hit, which again would, in my opinion, be pretty nice. We also have Shielding Strikes for on guard, or we may potentially, I don't know if we will or will not have Shielding Strikes, right? So it's +1 for yourself defense, which is fine, I guess. Again, you're not really gonna be tanking with him that much, right? Obviously you have a few more turns after Inspire that you have to take a few hits with, right? So that's when I guess you probably be trying to use your training move and stuff, so you don't get out of your shield position. Block and lunge, which this is kind of whatever. Barricade's the same except with special defense. These cost a lot though. These are 8 energy, so it's train a move. All right, you get +2, but the thing is afterwards, you're not gonna get targeted anymore. So it's kind of whatever, right? MP refresh is obviously really nice because otherwise, you only have 2 uses of this, right? For long battles, obviously. You want to use it more to make use of them because that's the big thing about him, right? Outside of, again, I guess flinching with Iron Head, right? Which you do have, right? You do have an aggravation on Iron Head, so that's definitely very good. In terms of damage-wise, there potentially may or may not be Harry 3, extra 30% on Iron Head. His damage is because again, if you check out his source form, these aren't terrible stats, but they're also not anything crazy either, right? May or may not have Crit Strike 2, potentially maybe Rumoured double down 5. There's some multipliers, right? Super duper effective 3. So like you could potentially do some damage, right? Especially in Steel Zone. Steel Zone, like crit strike 2, super duper effect 3, Harry 3. That's what, 80% over here, right? That you could add up to. And then you have a sync over here, which on top of the sync nuke, he didn't get the 6 REX though, so, or may or may not, we don't know, etc. And yeah, what else? We have another MP refresh over here. This one's for the trainer move, and yeah, that's that. The slightly annoying thing is you don't have too many options to debuff the opponent's physical attack for your nuke over here, right? Like you have like Terrify, but then like you just have like Hope for King's Shield, right? Where could debuff the opponent's attack by 2 if you nullify a physical attack move, right? So anyways, Age potential grid, okay, it's okay, right? Nothing too crazy. There are definitely some nice things, right, to make it him potentially a bit more usable, right? Moving on, Wulfric's another one that may or may not happen that I don't know, have knowledge of, etc. So in terms of his regular stats, we know what they are. Relatively good physical attack, right? Terrible speed, terrible defenses, like terrible everything except for like attacks, pretty good, right? Avalanche is a terrible move. Ice Fang is honestly kind of terrible too. If you think about it, because like the thing with Ice Fang is, in Palm Masters, you can't, like, it has 10% chance of flinching and 10% chance of freezing the opponent, right? Like, if it's like Thunder Fang or whatever, or like Fire Fang, alright, you could burn them, and then you flinch them, right? Well, if Ice Fang, you can't flinch and freeze at the same time. Only one can occur, right? So that's, like, slightly wasted in comparison to, like, all the other Fangs. So, there's that, I guess. But yeah, he's a striker, unfortunately, so his sync's not going to be anything crazy. Anyways, let's check out the grid. Obviously the big thing you'd see over here is aggravation, which is honestly not that great, because it is 10% over here, so you're not going to get that much out of it, right? 30 or so is kind of whatever. 2 hostile environments maybe on Ice Fang. Yeah, that's all kind of whatever. They might try to turn him into like a tech thing, right? Which I guess is better than like damage dealer, because he's just really not that great of damage dealer, right? Double down 5, kind of whatever. Honestly, didn't really go the way, or potentially go the way that I wanted, Rumoured. Because if it was me, I would have liked him just to have like a sync nuke, because again, he has good attack, right? Just go for the striker nuke, just do something like a Haymaker, maybe double down 5 if you really want, invigorating, or not invigorating, what was that, the extra sync move damage and hail, something like that. But they went with just like techie Ice Fang stuff, which honestly, again, is not that great. And Invigorating Hail, like, you're not going to be doing that much damage to them. I think his kit's kind of whatever, honestly, in comparison to some of the other ones. Anyways, moving on. The other potential Rumoured one would maybe be Ramos, right? They're all Kalos. Huh, look at this interesting little rumor they made up. All of them are Kalos, right? Anyways, Ramos is just a sleep bot, right? He's here to sleep powder the opponent. X speed to give your team a bit more gauges, while you spam sleep powder. Although there's also one other thing you could do, which would be like defense crush the opponent if you want that as well, right? So there's that. And he's looking at the potential Rumoured grid over here. We could potentially have stuff like first aid, which is nice. Not that you really would be tanky with Ramos, but it's something, I guess. Speeding, healing sun if you want to run him in sun for some reason. The damage stuff is whatever. The extra defense crush is not bad, right? Extra defense crush is not bad. What else? Good Nightmare, Rude Awakening, Good Nightmare 3, Double Down 3. Honestly, not that great, even though he should have a decent sync nuke, right? Because his attack but you don't have that many gray marble. It's 30% over here, 30% over here, so it's kind of whatever. Berserker, it's kind of whatever. Would have been nice if he also got Pep Rally on X speed, so you don't need the MP refresh to max out, his speed. Just give him bit more speed. But all in all, his kit is kind of whatever as well. Right? You have a speed plus 10 over here, I guess, which is nice. But overall, kit didn't get too much. Potentially. Again, defense crushes could be nice, especially if you're running it with a physical unit. So when the opponents are already asleep and you don't have anything else to do, just throw out, some bullet seeds, debuff their defenses while you're at it, which is cool. But otherwise, not super interesting. So, anyways, that's for this one. I guess I hope you all enjoyed. Guys, think in the comments down below. Like, share this video, subscribe to my channel for some more Poem Masters content. I'll see you guys in the next one then.